fix it in post, right?
Yeah, I'll fix it in post.
All right.
Post Malone.
All right, listen to some Mama Cass and grab your ass. It's Hey Pal, what is new? Hey everybody, we're back once again. It's another week of delightful treats for everybody. How you doing? Everything was all right? Everything's cool? All right, well, my name's Greg, and I got my hetero life mate here, Jonathan. Yeah, we're ready to start the Christmas season coming on. So as we tease...
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
That's triggering.
Oh, what? Oh, because I said Christmas?
No, dude, sir.
Hey, man, leave the Christ in Christmas, will you?
Jesus.
All right, happy Kwanzaa, everybody. It's Hey Pal, what's new? Yeah, so like as we teased last week, we are going to be having our very special Hey Pal, what's new holiday special.
Ringle dingle.
We decided, maybe about a half hour ago or maybe this morning, that we are going to be streaming our holiday special live Sunday, December 19th. We're shooting for like 6 p.m. We're going to have some special guests, some fireworks and chicks and guns, and Santa Claus is going to come for us. He's going to stick a carrot up your ass. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. And we're encouraging everybody to watch it live on the live stream because we are going to be giving out points for prizes.
You know where my mind goes. You're like, Santa Claus is going to come. I was like,
well, he does only come once a year. Yeah, but we're going to be sending out details, so you're going to start seeing us
harassing.
Harassing and spamming the bejesus out of you. Hey, if you want to come on and enjoy the holiday spirit, we have some special guests, which we will not name until the actual event. But we're going to have games and fun and,
Someone might stick a candy cane up their ass.
That's right. It's going to be raspberry dressing, everybody. Ooh. Motherfucker. Tightwad Tyrone might show up. You never know.
Tightwad Tyrone.
You remember that from the Fat Albert Christmas special. Hey. It's time for the brown hornet. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So anyway, yeah. So be on the lookout for that. We're going to send out the invite tonight. We hope you all can join us for a very special holiday treat. So
that's right.
In the meantime, we are going to, as we promised, we are going to start doing our rank episodes. Where since it's the end of the year, we decided we're going to do what every other freaking podcast does.
Nothing original to see over here, people.
That's right. We're not blazing a trail, but it's something that I always enjoy. And if you enjoy us, you will enjoy it too. So we're going to start doing our ranks of music, movies, and television.
Yeah, I like to throw rank in there that, nobody's going to fucking agree with. Just because people go, fuck, what the fuck is wrong with him? That's stupid. I don't like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the thing.
I'm going to type him an email.
Oh, yeah. Copy, paste. Blind CC. Yeah, no, I mean, it's going to be in no particular order. I mean, obviously, today, which one are we doing today? Are we doing
music?
All right, so we're going to do music for this episode because we have our ranks all set up. So, yeah, I mean, I'm sure my albums or music for this year is going to be completely different than my friend over here.
Completely.
I don't know. I mean,
I think we'll have at least one thing in common.
Maybe. We'll see. I mean, I looked at my list today, and, I'm just going to have to pull it from, I have my 10 in no discernible order.
I don't have 10. I just thought of the ones that came most to mind, and I was like, yeah, that's my list. I'm not very good with lists.
Yeah, I like doing lists every once in a while. There's ones where you talk about Spider-Man movies or Star Wars movies.
And if I learned anything about myself from this, I was like, wow, because we're doing music, movies, TV. Yes. And I really was just like, I'm not really music. I mean, I like music. I like certain, I'm like, wow.
As far as new music, I did have a little bit of a struggle with picking out 10.
I didn't even try. I was just like, hey, and I thought about things I listened to this year, even if it was not like a new band. It was just anything new, and maybe there just wasn't a lot of new stuff.
No, I mean, it doesn't have to be a new artist. It could be a new album from an old classic artist.
Right, but it felt like not a lot of people came out with anything, worth...
Yeah. I mean, I had to, it's funny because any of you Spotify listeners, if you do,
with these can I address the fucking elephant in the room? The two of us with the.
I know. Wow, everybody should take a drink every time you go.
Shots.
Shots. Or if I say seriously, or
well, back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the days when I was younger.
Damn it, we're old.
And we are old.
Yes, exactly. And my feet stink right now. Oh, jeez. But anyway, because I'm sitting crisscross applesauce.
Times like this, I wish I had COVID. I wouldn't wish COVID on anyone, but right about now, I'm wishing I had it. Your feet are stanky.
I understand. I mean, I have my. Let's see if I can take them off here.
Hold on.
I have my.
Let me go wide.
One of the many pairs of my Golden Girl socks, which are. I got Blanche and the rest of the bitches on there. Them bitches are my homies. I love those girls. When I was in Walmart and I saw that they had Golden Girl socks, 6 different pair, I was like,
was it the Golden Girls? Was it like a box? The fucking sock advent calendar that they.
Not an advent calendar. It was just a pair of 6 different Golden Girl socks. So they're all different colors. I got some pink, some yellow ones. B. Arthur is my spirit animal. She's one of my favorites. So, but when you do wear colored socks, not being racist, the socks tend to stink a little bit more than the usual white socks.
And I haven't been keeping up with my wife and her. I bought her one of those. So down at the Wizarding store in New York City for Wizard World Harry Potter, they have a Harry Potter advent calendar, but it's like a different. One day you get like a bracelet, like one of those Pandora type bracelets.
Okay.
But then some days there's a charm to put on the bracelet. There's pins. There's all this other stuff.
Okay.
I've been keeping up on what she's getting, and we're 10 days in?
You get like a
feel like a
chocolate
bum.
toad?
Oh, that would be nice.
That would be a nice chocolate toad. What are those
You
things?
got to eat them before they run away.
Didn't they have those things? I mean, I'm not a Harry Potter guy, but didn't they have
we've
like
been rewatching them like crazy in my house too.
Really?
Yeah, and in our house, all those movies, the Harry Potter movies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're like a staple in the Fatakis household. It's like, let's watch them. Let's watch them. Ooh.
It's
Which one you watching? I'm watching number 5 right now.
Yeah, it's like a warm blanket. It's like made with Star Wars. I could put on any Star Wars movie and just be like, it could be
Misa want to
background.
put you to sleep.
Oh, Misa. Oh, I'll tell you a good story about Jar Jar. I mean, my kids used to always tease me, because they know I freaking hate Jar Jar. So my eldest daughter, Zoe, always used to tease me and be like, oh, your boyfriend Jar Jar? Yeah, you love Jar Jar. And I was, oh, you love Jar Jar. And I would start doing like, Zoe, it's true that I do love Jar Jar. As a matter of fact, there was one time where I was making pottery, and I felt that Gungan go right behind me, and he grabbed my hips, and he whispered into my ears, Misa wants you. And she's like, Dad, that's disgusting. I'm like, and then he bent me over.
Enough already, enough.
Oh, you never saw Gungan wiener.
I don't think I want to.
And then he kissed me on my lips and said, Misa want to be inside you. We didn't get that far with the children. I just used to just say, Misa wants you. And I would feel his Gungan breath on my neck.
And that sloppy Jar Jar tongue.
And then Watto comes up. And then it's all over. And it's Watto's getting in there. And you'll be the Jedi. I can't do Watto. I can't do any of these people. It's so funny.
So,
I just, Misa wants you.
I gotta tell you, I never realized where some shit.
Oh, that's the hardest I've laughed in a while. Just thinking of being freaking rammed by Jar-Jar Binks. Now this is pod racing. Ooh, take it from behind. Oh, Misa wants you.
No.
I'm starting to see stars. I'm laughing so hard. All right. Dead kittens. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm good. All right. Enough of that shit.
Dead kittens. You're trying to give me an erection?
Anyway, enough about my erotic fan fiction with Jar-Jar Binks. Hey, pal. What's new with you?
Not much, man. I don't know how you fucking top that. We may as well sign off and start a new show.
I mean, if George Lucas wouldn't sue the shit out of us, that would be our next animation.
You getting railed from behind by Jar Jar.
Have JJ in the corner, just like, poor Colin Trevorrow freaking crying. Talk about, well, I know we're going off on different tangents about Jar Jar erotica, but I did listen to Colin Trevorrow. Somebody put up the Duel of the Fates. Have you read?
No.
We'll put a link on our Facebook page that somebody took Colin Trevorrow's Duel of the Fates, like the movie he was going to do,
right,
instead of Rise of Skywalker, and made a comic of it. Oh my God, dude, that movie would have been 10 times better.
I'm sure. So you listened to it?
It was on YouTube. There's a channel where a guy just basically goes through the script and, goes through the whole story. And I listened to it on the way here.
You want to cry?
It was so much better.
Why can't I have that?
I know. We got freaking, we did get Babu Freak, which is hey, that guy. He's another one in my erotic fan fiction.
His head pops up.
Hey, everybody.
You're killing me. You're killing me, Smalls.
Is there any? Hey, y'all. Oh, that's
Nobody's
us.
even here. It's just us.
They're like, he's talking about getting
Not
railed
even
by
my
Jar-Jar.
own. Not even my own wife listens live. She's like, I don't want to know, because then I wouldn't be able to look at you when you get home.
I have a feeling I'm gonna get a lot of Jar Jar shit in the mail. Mm-hmm. Which hey, I'll take what I can get. But so you said you did have a story for us before we start our rank episodes.
Top any of that. I should have gone first.
I'm sorry.
It's not even a story. It just made me think, because I was like, I'm sitting in the kitchen the other day, and we're all in the kitchen. I don't know if this is the exact scenario, because I always get it wrong. And then I get home, my wife listens to it. She's like, man, you told that story. You got it wrong.
Well, she should have got on a freaking chat here and corrected your ass.
Or she should be listening live and just be like, all of a sudden my phone rings. I'm like, yes, dear.
Yeah.
But
support.
Thanks,
Kate.
I don't know what caused him to say it, and I want to say it was like the dogs just being crazy or something like that. But Manny drops the. Oh my God! Why do you gotta get them all Mabled up?
he referenced Mabel. Did he even know what that means?
No, that's the point. He's like, where is that, Dad? Why? I was like, dude, why are you saying it? And he goes, I don't know, because you say it. And I was like, well, I got that from Uncle Greg. I was like, his Aunt Mabel used to come over and get the kids all sugared up and hyped up and run around crazy, and then get them all and then leave.
Yeah, she was very high strung, my Aunt Mabel. She was a sweetheart. She looked kind of like Aunt Edna from Vacation.
Okay.
She had the horn rimmed glasses, and she was black. I'll tell you outside. She was just I loved her to death. She was great. But that's a phrase in our house. Don't Mabel up the dog.
Look, don't you guys?
My godson's like, don't Mabel up the dog. I was like, do you even know who Aunt Mabel is?
He has no idea. But I just love how it just transitions from you and me to from you to me to my kids to your kids.
Oh yeah,
we're gonna start a trend. I'm
telling you. My other favorite story about that is of a kid using a phrase they don't know what it's about. This was when my daughters were young. She had to be maybe 8 or 9. And I used to take them down to the bus. I would get, where my house was, it's a big hill.
Right.
And you don't want them walking down the hill. So they'd get in the car. I'd take them down the bottom of the hill, and then they'd get in the bus. So one day, Zoe's in the front seat with me, and Violet's in the back. And Violet is just complaining about something. And Zoe turns her head and goes, Violet, stop being such a pussy. And I looked at her like, what did you just say? And she had no idea what she was saying. She's like, what? I said, you just called your sister a vagina. Did you realize that? She goes, no, I just thought pussy meant whiny and complaining and stuff like that. I was like, I didn't know it was a curse. I'm sorry. And she was so upset. I said, it's okay. I'm going to let you slide on that because you used it in the right context. Your sister is being a pussy. But time and place, kid. Time and place. I mean, stop being a pussy in the house? Sure. Stop being a pussy in church? Don't know. So that she was taught a very valuable lesson that day. But I love that Manny used Don't Mabel on the song. I'm going to send him a picture of Aunt Mabel if I can find one.
For years in my house, still to this day, you know what they do? It's just because I started doing it, and then you got to explain anything grape. It's like, can I get some of that grape drink? And everybody just does anything grape. It's like, can I have some grape ginger ale?
That's like when we eat mashed potatoes on Thanksgiving. You're supposed to go, Albert? Yeah, Ma. From freaking Little House on the Prairie. I don't know why we started. When we were kids, we used to sit at the table. We still do sit at the table on Thanksgiving. It's not like we sit outside the backyard. But we get the mashed potatoes. And there was some Little House on the Prairie episode where the guy, father was like, Albert? And he goes, yeah. His mother goes, Albert? And he goes, yeah, Ma. And he was eating at the time, and it kind of got on his face.
Okay.
So, Thanksgiving, you'd have, like, the huge pile of mashed potatoes. So the joke was in my family is just get, like, a big mound of mashed potatoes and put it up to your face, and one of us would go, Albert, and go, yeah, Ma. Just get, like, all over your face.
I don't think I'll be able to find it. I mean, there's Albert. But...
Yeah, Albert. Oh, that's my favorite one. The one where he's hooked on morphine.
Morphine.
And he just pukes out that, like, milk substance. It was
Albert's a junkie.
Albert was definitely a junkie.
Aren't we all, though?
Yeah. Him and, what's the chick from Saved by the Bell taking the caffeine pills?
I need my caffeine pills. That's like...
I'm so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, but wasn't that also on... It was on that, but it was also on Family Ties.
Well, that was with Tom Hanks.
No, but didn't Alex get hooked on caffeine pills because he had to stay up studying or some shit like that?
Yes, he did. But he did not sing I'm So Excited.
No, Tom Hanks drinking the freaking
vanilla extract. I love that. Uncle Tom, you just drank a whole bottle of vanilla extract. He goes, oh, I'm sorry. Did you want some?
Dude, he was on Tom Hanks. You gotta love him. He was just on
America's Dad.
Yeah. I don't know if you're familiar.
Bill Cosby lost that title. Now it's Tom Hanks.
What the fuck is the name of that podcast? Smartless.
Okay.
With Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes and the guy who does the voice of fucking Batman, Will Arnett.
Oh, wow.
They have a podcast.
I didn't know they had a everybody's got a podcast.
God. No, but
apparently.
Dude, this podcast, you need to fucking listen to it because it's just, they just one a week interview someone. They just did Dave Grohl. They had him on.
Oh, okay.
And they did Halle Berry was on and freaking Jerry Seinfeld. But they had Tom Hanks on.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking to him about like all the stuff he's done. And it's just, you start to remember like, not just like, I didn't even give that.
The Family Ties one?
Yeah, it's like you forget about that.
Or like Bosom Buddies.
And that's where you got to start. But like you just start to hear like where he came up from. It's like, it's a good podcast.
Yeah.
I think everybody should just check it out.
I'll definitely check that out. But all right, so Aunt Mabel was addressed the Albert Yama grape drink.
Crap.
See, you didn't get your cue. Yeah, so it sounds like we've had a fun-filled Mabel and Pussy and all kinds of good stuff, but old times, and so I think now it might be time for us to finally bite the bullet.
Get down to business.
Yeah, do you want to hit that new song?
Oh my God, what is that smell? God, no, it smells like a used diaper filled with Indian food.
Oh, it is.
Oh.
What is that? It smells like a turd covered in burnt hair.
Yo, that shit is rank. That's right, everybody. It's rank time. Rank time. So we're going to rank, as best we can, our top music choices for 2021.
Mine were pretty slim.
How many do you got there, Hambone?
But 1, 2, I'll go with 3, 4, 5-ish.
All right, you want to do a top 5? We can do a top 5. I mean, there's some on my list here that I could do some honorable mentions. Do you have yours in any particular order?
I do not, because,
I was going to pull mine out of my ass, but...
I know what my number 5 is, like the lowest on the list. I just liked it.
Yeah, you just liked it. Okay. Well, why don't we? Why don't we just do 5? We'll do 5 because I mean I did 10 just because.
You know we're not going to stop at 5 because you're going to do 5 and be like, well, what else is on your
Well, we
list?
could talk about honorable mentions after that. So I mean, we'll just start with 5. I mean, they're looking at my list here. I didn't really put them on as in any order, but I can pretty much pull them out of order. It was tough, man. I'll be honest with you that the music one was tough. I mean, there were some really good releases this year.
I know some shit.
I mean, a lot of it was just kind of the TV was a lot easier. The music one was kind of a little difficult. But, as I went through I was going to say about the Spotify, if you're a Spotify subscriber, I think we started that, and then we went off on freaking Grape Drink and Albert Yema. But
I got that one.
they did your top,
Oh, God.
the rap for 2021.
Yeah.
All the shit that's on there, it's like old stuff. I'm like, and Spotify, I know you're Mr. Algorithm and all that stuff, and I get it, but like, they put stuff on my rap that I was like, please stop putting these on my playlist because they fucking put them on like 100 times.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, I don't want to hear this song anymore.
I don't listen to their suggested playlists. I kind of stopped that unless I'm like just hold on. Unless I'm really bored and desperate. I'm like, I just need something to listen to.
Yeah, well, you just hit the just for you or something like that, or
your weekend music, your whatever.
I do like the blend though. Have you done the blend?
Nope. No.
You and I are gonna have to do the blend because you do a blend with some other person, like I do it with my girl Manal, and it plays stuff not only from my stuff but from hers too. So I get some of her stuff, some of mine. It's pretty cool, when My Life in the Thrill Kill Cult comes on, I'm like, that wasn't me, although I do love it, but I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that band. So
that might be me.
Yeah. So we could start with do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first? How do you want to do this?
So
we're figuring this out as we go along.
The bottom of my list, not even a song. It is.
Is it a song or an album? Did you pick song?
It's a band.
It's a band.
Well, it's an album, I guess. So you remember a little band from back in the 90s called Evanescence?
Yes.
They came out. Oh, wait, hold on.
Oh, wait.
Where?
Hit that.
Wait, what? Where is it?
Oh, no. Jiggy with this shit?
Can I help you, sir? Yes, what is this? Huh? This is whack! I can't get jiggy with this shit!
I thought you were dead.
So
apparently, I thought she was dead too. I had no idea.
The new Evanescence album. I don't even know. I hate when these bands like just add new members just for the fuck of it.
It's basically just her and like a bunch of schleps, right?
Right. I just liked it because I always kind of liked Evanescence, but it's just a very nice album to just chill to.
Oh, it's not like the heavy stuff. It's more of like just kind of.
Yeah, I mean it's a mix, but it's more. I felt more of a chill vibe from it. Even the songs that were like kind of dancey songs that
Really?
they have, were still had like a kind of chill vibe to it.
It's funny. I think I maybe know like 2 songs from Evanescence, and they're the real popular.
I wouldn't go see them in concert, and I really couldn't sing along to most of their songs, but as background music when like I'm just trying to sleep or taking a bath.
Yeah.
When I treat myself right with some rose petals and some essential oils in the tub, maybe a bath bomb, throw on some Evanescence and light a candle.
Get your fleshlight out. It's good times.
That's right. Get the fleshlight out.
So yeah, I think with these we could just mention some of the top ones. They don't have to be in any discernible order. Like I found looking through my list of music stuff, a lot of the stuff on here is either really extreme type of metal, or like middle of the road kind of rock shit. So like for example, I mean, there stuff like the new Mastodon album, Hushed and Grim. Always love Mastodon. They're proggy, but not really that proggy. They got that whole Sabbath kind of influence to it. I mean,
right.
Brent from Mastodon is a fucking savage. He's great. The drummer everybody is phenomenal, and they put out this new album, Hushed and Grim. The only reason I put it down on the bottom is because I haven't really been able to digest it that much. Same with Of Mice and Men. I talked about Of Mice and Men.
Yes.
They put out their full-length Echo. It really popped up at the top of my list just because, and I knew of Mice and Men, but I never really got into them that much. But
Right.
like this new album is just like it sucks you in, man. It's good. It's heavy and it's got the scream stuff, but it also has melody and stuff. It reminds me of like Howard Jones type of like Kill Switch Engage. If you're into that stuff, I mean,
Right.
I might be talking to nobody here, which it looks like I am, but
Yeah, nobody's listening. Anybody out there?
hey,
Anybody?
come on, it's fine. You'll catch the recap. So yeah, those are the two that were like, I think if I give them more time, they will be a lot higher. I mean, I seem to be going back to those two albums,
Right.
You know, and those two bands, and those are ones that Mastodon I've been listening to for a while. They got a bunch of albums out that are really good. Emperor of Sand, and they even do a cover of Stairway to Heaven, like
What?
perfect. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
And they're really and everybody sings in the band. It's cool. It's really cool.
I don't know which I enjoy more. Really, just a quick side thing because you mentioned that. I don't know which I enjoy more: bands that can cover another band's song, and you're like, "Wow, this sounds like the original band, just like a different recording or a different mastering."
Mm-hmm.
Or do I like when a band does like their own interpretation of a song?
I like a little bit of both.
Yeah.
I mean, for a band to do a cover of a song and have it sound exactly like the original, what's the point? Exactly. If they put their own stank on it and they kind of do it a little bit different. That's what the Mastodon when they did. This whole Hushed and Grim album is dedicated and written about one of their friends that passed.
Okay.
And they did do Stairway to Heaven. I think is a kind of like a tribute to the guy.
So it had a purpose in there too.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's not on this album. It's separate EP. I mean, they're consistently putting out really, really good stuff. So if you're into kind of the heavier stuff, I mean, they don't do the screaming stuff, but it's very
No screamo.
no screamo. It's very heavy, very proggy. They know how to play their instruments very well.
So funny.
And it's the same with Of Mice and Men. I keep going back to those two. I mean, Of Mice and Men is your typical, like real heavy stuff. But I don't know, something grabbed me about it. So those are those two.
Well,
You can keep going with some of yours.
Wow, what the fuck? I got up on the next. I kind of put this on there. I talked about this band before, but Royal Blood.
Yes,
some
they're on our
Boilermaker.
they're on our playlist. Which, by the way, subscribe to that playlist, everybody.
That was like a song I played a lot since it came out. So
Yeah.
I was going by looking at my list from Spotify going, okay, what's in my top songs? And then, well, which of those are actually like new, not like you said, not old shit that I just play all the time.
Yeah, and it was funny because when I was looking through this list of 2021, there were albums like Code Orange, right? Another band that I love.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I got to put that on. It was 2020. I'm like, shit. All right, can't do that one, So, I mean, as much as 2020 was kind of a wash, I mean, a lot of people, and I'm surprised because 2021, you figured there'd be a gazillion albums out because everybody was
bands
locked in.
lockdown.
I mean, I did 2 albums in fucking during COVID, all by myself, which we'll get to that later. Believe it or not, I even put myself on there.
Oh, who likes themselves?
It's funny when you talk about the 2021 Wrapped. My favorite artist is me.
Aww, a little self-love.
If you don't love yourself, I mean, somebody's got to play those songs. But yeah. See, I've always been more of like an album person.
Right.
Like, I like complete albums, and I find myself getting sucked into like especially with some of the legacy bands like Iron Maiden. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna listen to Peace of Mind, the whole album,
Sure.
and not single or a playlist or anything like that. Like, I want to listen to the beginning to the end because back in the day,
Back in the days when I was young.
damn it, we're old.
You are.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I'm all about. I did fall off the wagon with the physical products of albums, which I mean I have a gazillion CDs. But yeah, about an album, it's like back then, they would make an album and it was a theme, it was a
Told a story.
It's one, it's like a photo
Well,
album.
especially
It's-
Iron Maiden.
yeah. So
Every Maiden album was like, you could picture it being a movie.
yeah, and there's certain bands like and they're mostly legacy bands. I'll say like Kiss or Iron Maiden or even Judas Priest or any of those bands. It's like you take that. It's a snapshot at that particular point in time. Like, I could tell you, as corny as it sounds, Motley Crue, Theater of Pain. I could tell you everything that happened that summer listening to that album.
Damn.
You know, it brings me back to it. We were talking about the Donger Deli.
Woo.
That's when we used to go to that beach where we found the infamous dildo. They had like a little shack there, and they had a pool table, and we'd go there and we'd smoke cigarettes, and we had Theater of Pain on cassette, and we just played it over and over again.
I think I animated that too.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I mean, you get to listen to certain albums, so yeah, I mean that's what's kind of disappointing looking at, you know, some of the stuff that's on here. You know,
It's not albums.
No, all of mine are albums.
See, mine aren't.
I picked albums because
One of mine is an album.
Okay, lay it on me, Jackson.
Mean, the album's gonna be like one of the last. But the next thing I had, and I don't know which order to put these two in of it, was the Dave Grohl, Violet Grohl covering Nausea.
Yes,
Just because like I listened to it so much. It was on my run playlist, but it was again one of those songs, like my number one song on
the Wrapped, yeah.
Yeah, which was a BTS song, but it's because it's in my run playlist and all the running.
Yeah.
I was always listening to it.
Well, same with mine too. Like
And
when I
jump back
was
to it.
releasing albums, I was like listening to them over, like okay, like you know, analyze. Yeah, it's a story.
It's a shitty algorithm.
Yeah,
But yeah, that was my
it is.
next one. I got 3 more things after that. So.
Okay. So, I mean, looking at some of my other ones here, like staying on that like heavy stuff. I mean, Gojira, they're another one. They had an album out this year, Fortitude. They've had a couple of albums out. They're a French band.
Oui, oui.
Sacre Bleu. I think they're from France. They're from France. They put out this album this Fortitude one. Like I've listened to Gojira over the years. And always liked their stuff. Never really sat down with an album. This Fortitude album is from front to back just killer. It's similar to like the Mastodon and stuff like that, where it's heavy, but it's not like I can't get into. Even though Mice and Men, like we talked about, has that really yelling, screaming, like it can't be the whole thing. Like
Right.
it turns me off. So it's got to have a little bit of both. It's got to have some sort of melody into it, depending.
And it's funny you say that because I have this student who's got like his black denim jacket. And he's got the patches all over it with like a Descendants patch and like all these punk bands and like,
Yeah.
but like you're like screamo punk because he's like, oh, he hands me a CD. He's like, this is a CD, a bunch of like stuff I listen to. Give it a listen. Tell me what you think. And I was like, okay. And I listened. It was just a lot of like music that the instruments just didn't go together.
And it's like drop D tuning and the same like chugga chug chug chugga chug 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 chug.
And then all of a sudden it's like, and then some of them were literally like I was like, there was a couple of things I was like, all right, you know, I can hear the bass. There's something going on here. All right, there's a sample too. I'm not opposed to like a, you know, audio sample of something from wherever, you know, whether it's like a soundbite from a movie or whatever.
Yeah.
But then like all of a sudden you just hear, I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, all right, I can't, you just lost me there. And then I would fast forward ahead within the song, because he put whole albums as a single track.
Okay.
You getting a feedback?
No, I just keep peeking every once in a while just to see.
And I like moved forward, and this was the test. It was like I moved forward, and I probably moved forward like 10 minutes, and I was like, is this the same song?
Yeah.
I can't tell a difference.
Yeah, a lot of that stuff is.
And I was honest with him. I told him, I was like, you know, some of it I could get into, like just the music part. But I was like, I'll tell you, every time you're going to lose me when I hear someone going, or, and it's like, oh my God, like you get one song and you got laryngitis.
Well, it's like a particular formula
really
that
old.
they just. No, I mean, you know what also is funny too is some of the stuff that I have on here. A lot of it is, and I'm starting to see it with even some younger bands are starting to sound retro like some of the older bands.
Yep.
Like, you know, there was that band we talked about, and I have them on my list here. It's this band Turnstile. They put out an album this year, Glow On.
Okay.
They were hardcore, but they kind of mix it up a little bit. They have samples. They have all kinds of other stuff. The singer sounds exactly. He reminds me so much of Ray Cappo from Youth of Today, but not
funny.
like, not you know, sound like friggin' Shelter kind of stuff.
Okay.
And it was good. It was good. And like in other bands, like another one on my list that put out an album this year, Dirty Honey. They're a great band, but they sound like something from the 70s. Everybody rants and raves about Greta Van Fleet. When they first came out, and I did like Greta Van Fleet in the beginning.
Right.
They were a mixture of like Zeppelin and Heart. And they're like teenagers. I don't know how old the Dirty Honey guys are, but they're not old men. But their album and their sound is very like Aerosmith type of, old school 70s rock, and even the Dirty Honey thing with the face and the, it's just, a lot of it's getting, repackaged, which, I'm fine with. We're getting to that age now where it's, we think, what's that stupid song? It's like, when did Motley Crue become classic rock?
Yeah.
It is. It is.
There's that meme that's everywhere. It's like, you were in the club, this is my jam. And then it was like, you were in the car, this is my jam. And it's like, you're in the grocery store, and hey, this is my jam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're getting that part where you start hearing songs like, stuff that I grew up on. And I still go back to those bands, those legacy bands.
When I'm in the grocery store and I start hearing Muzak versions of The Cure, Friday in Love, I'm like, oh Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, The Cure, stuff like that. I mean, they were around way before when we were young.
Well, and then you kind of start to realize we're the prime consumer, working money. We got work, we money, whatever. We buy things.
Yeah. Well, it's like what we discussed when we went to Iron Maiden, right?
Right.
Like when we went to Iron Maiden a couple of years ago for that Book of Souls tour, I'm going in thinking it's 1989 again, and I'm like, oh my God, it's going to be so much booze and drugs and people puking and M80s and all that stuff. It's all fat white dudes like me with their jobs that they can afford the T-shirts now, and they could buy 4 or 5 T-shirts. Whereas you saved your money, you went.
Stole people at 4 or 5 T-shirts? Don't say.
Oh, please. I mean, he bought every T-shirt. I don't think I've ever seen him
I don't have that one.
Shirt.
I don't have that one.
Yeah.
I got a different shirt for every day of the year.
Although
we love you, Mike. No,
I know. Can't wait to see it, Bao. So yeah, I mean, stuff like that. There are bands now. It's kind of like that weird time in our age too, where it's just like, do I really want to hear a new, Motley Crue album? Probably not.
Right.
But I'll go back to fucking Shout at the Devil, over and over and over again. Do I really want them to put out new music? Probably not. But it's interesting. It's interesting, and it's tough to find new stuff because you're stuck in that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm like, this ain't like the shit. I start to sound like my father. This ain't the crap. I can't understand it. It sounds like robots fucking. I don't understand.
For me, I think it's that I just don't have the energy to search out new music.
It's tough.
And as you know, it's like you listen to something, it's like there's no experience that goes with it. I'd never heard Fucked Up before we went to go see them open for Descendants, and then I was like, I fucking love these guys.
Yeah.
If you had handed me a Fucked Up CD, I would have been like, all right, yeah, maybe I'll give it a listen. But I think the experience of like, wow, I saw them live and I see what they're about, is what turned me on, and that's what I think is kind of missing. I mean, that same student I was talking to him, I was showing him, you can Google search the flyers for the fucking punk shows at the Italian American Club. He goes, wait, what? Yeah. And I was like, yeah, you go in there and plunk down your $200 and be like, we want to rent the hall for a Saturday afternoon. And they'd be like, okay. Yeah. And they'd just give you the keys and you go in there and you'd have a fucking show and make sure it was cleaned up when you were done.
Yep.
I was like, everybody pays like $5-6 to come in. And I was like, I showed him a list. I was like, you have bands like Gorilla Biscuits showing up. Like, he's like, wait, what? And he sees the names of the bands. He's like, they played in Mayapack? And I was like, yeah, it was before anybody knew who the fuck they were.
Yeah, the Mentors played in Mayapack.
Well, nobody still knows who the fuck they are.
The Mentors.
If it wasn't from, assassinating Kurt Cobain. Allegedly. But yeah, I mean, I was popping up on the screen because that same kid was showing me like, there's a band that, and I was like, wow, dude. Terrorizer?
Terrorizer.
They were a punk band from like the 80s.
Okay.
And it's like one of his favorite bands. I was like, wait, what?
Yeah. It's funny, like, you probably see it a lot more with your profession of kids coming in like, I was so proud one time when Violet sent me over one of her playlists, and my daughter actually has like everyone on her playlist, I have no idea who they are.
Right.
But it's good. You know, there's some stuff in there that I really enjoyed. I'm like, wow, I like your taste in music. But one of them was Boys Don't Cry by The Cure, and I was like, aw, you found. And God forbid if she admitted that. You know, I was like, oh, you remember that from that shirt? Because I had the Boys Don't Cry shirt. She's like, it was in some movie. I don't know.
Oh God!
Like,
Well, that's the worst. Being in teaching, it's like you see a kid, you know, with a shirt that's it's like they got a fucking I don't goddamn know, like a Minor Threat shirt. You're like, oh, Minor Threat, and they're like, what? I'm like, Minor Threat, your shirt. And they're like, oh, it's a shirt I bought at like Hot Topic. Oh,
Yeah,
it was cool. It
well,
was angsty.
Yeah, there's kind of like a double-edged sword with that with bands where, you know, you see the kid with the brand new Operation Ivy T-shirt, and you're like, yeah, you weren't even, you know, but at the same time, I'm glad that they're listening to Op Ivy, but at the same, I'm like, you didn't fucking earn that shirt.
Well,
like,
not even that. They're wearing the shirt. They don't even know who the fucking band is.
Yeah. Oh,
like the number of kids I've seen over the years, and again, it's not a lot, but wearing the Descendants "I Don't Want to Grow Up" shirt, and I'm like, you just think that's like a "I don't want to grow up."
Yeah,
thing.
it's
it's a band, right? That's their album. They're like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I just liked it. It was cool. I was like, okay, I'm done.
Well, it's like when you see the famous people wearing like obituary T-shirts because they're like, "Oh, look at all the skulls," and it's like it's a band. Yeah. I had that experience going into a Starbucks. This is like fucking hipster fucking dude, you know, with his man bun and all that crap, and he had a Milo tattoo. And
was this the Starbucks in Danbury
maybe
over by Trader Joe's?
Maybe.
Okay.
You know the guy?
Oh, I know the guy because he saw my Milo tattoo. And was like, hey, I have the same tattoo.
Yeah, well, I saw him and I made a comment about his Milo tattoo. I was like, oh, dude, fucking Milo tattoo. That's cool. And he's just like, yeah, whatever, man. And I was like, dude, I was listening to Descendants when you were still in your father's fucking ball sack.
That's
all right? Don't give me that crap. Just
I'll come over the counter and I'll teach you a lesson.
That's right. I remember when these albums came out, you fucking little twerp. You know, it's like when you said, I remember the one time when we went when we saw Rancid at Roseland, and we saw, and we were with Walter, and this girl was crying, and she was all upset, and she ran out, and we're like, oh, what happened to her? Walter goes, I guess she lost her punk rock card.
Oh.
Or we played a show, and there was this little, you know, this like young girl, and she was wearing a Compton hat. And I was like, bitch, you've never been to fucking Compton. Then again, neither have I, but I wouldn't wear a fucking Compton hat.
No, thank you.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, just to kind of go through some of the other highlights of this year, I mean, I did mention Donnie V on the last episode. His album is on there, Beautiful Things. That was a great album if you're into Beatles, kind of psychedelic, cheap trick stuff. That you should definitely listen to. What was your feeling on Medicine at Midnight? The Foo Fighters album.
So I did have Foo Fighters on here, but I wasn't a big fan of that.
Okay.
Now, they weren't going to be the next thing I was going to talk about, but I will, because what got me... Oh, my God, my wife is texting me. Hey, how about you come on the show? What's the Hulu login? The Hulu login is...
Hold on. Let me give you my social security number.
Wait. So what I had on my list was not them. It was them. I wasn't that huge a fan of it. It's okay. But what I really did enjoy, and it's not really from the Foo Fighters, but I don't, you don't live under a rock, so you've probably seen these, the Dave Grohl Hanukkah songs.
Yes. Yeah, because
So
you were talking about
good.
His daughter Violet singing Nausea. She sang, one of the ones I caught was her singing a Amy Winehouse song.
So here's the songs they did.
Okay.
Stay by Lisa Loeb.
Which
death
metal version?
It's like that mix of like kind of like him singing, I don't want to say a parody of her.
Well, he did have a dress on.
But an over the top kind of like impersonation of like it's like that. I know I'm not going to sound like her. That's me.
Yeah, it's you. Shut up.
It's quiet. Not an impersonation. So it's like I know I'm not going to sound like her. So what I'll do is I'll do like that. I'm in my car alone, kind of like singing like her,
Yeah.
kind of thing, and then jump right into that death metal. I was like, that is just fucking so good. Kate loved it too. She's like, that is so cool. And then he did Blitzkrieg Bop
Yep, I saw that one.
and fucking Copacabana.
Yes.
Hilarious. And not like hilarious as in making fun of it funny, just like that is just classic.
Yeah, he was pretty true to it, but obviously you got to put cheese in there. I mean, even Barry Manilow put cheese in that.
And then there was Jump.
Yes.
Of course,
Okay. Yeah, I do remember.
8
that
Days
one.
of Hanukkah, 8 songs.
Mhm.
Then was Take the Box. That's the one you're talking about, Amy Winehouse.
Yes, which I don't even remember that song. I mean, I don't. Amy Winehouse was amazing, but
I wasn't even an Amy Winehouse fan, but I can't help it. Like when I even hearing that, you kind of there's something wrong with you if you're not getting goosebumps listening to it, just knowing like her story.
yeah, because I mean, we did goof a little bit on Violet Grohl because it was like, hey, Dad, I want to do this cover of this X song. All right, let me get Chris Novoselic, let me get Dave Lombardo from Slayer, and let's play the song. It's like, damn. I mean, I know that she's, she doesn't act privileged or anything like that, but that must be nice.
Well, that's like Chris Evans, Captain America.
Yeah, Chris Evans.
I think it was Superman. Was it you who told me this story about the kid who was like, "Oh, Superman's my uncle," and the teacher was like, "Would you? Okay, that's great." And like, "No, Superman's my uncle," and she's like, "Stop it, your uncle's not. Superman's a character," and he's like, "Yeah, but Superman's my uncle," and it's like, "No," and the kid got all upset because teacher's like, well, "You need to stop lying," and everything. And then they wanted to have like a meeting with the parents about the kid lying, and when they had the meeting, fucking Uncle Superman came and goes, "I'm here for the meeting."
Oh, Henry Cavill came in?
I was like, "What?" I think it was Henry Cavill.
Well, it wasn't Christopher Reeve.
No,
Sorry.
And then on the list, that list of songs, Big Shot, and this is why it's an album to me because it's like all these things were like a playlist, but to me it's like an album.
They should really he should really put out those Hanukkah songs as like an album because he's done it prior years too. That'd be great.
Train in Vain, Clash.
Nice.
And then I don't know why. I think this is the last one they did, and it was like, why'd you put that one last? I would have done that earlier because it's not the best. But Kiss Rock and Roll All Night.
Yeah, that's kind of a played one. I saw it with the makeup one. I mean, Charlie Benante from Anthrax put out a album of quarantine songs. Like he did all these covers, and he did like pretty obscure covers.
Sure.
That were cool. When he put it out on album, it was kind of like, all right. It lost its luster because you didn't see it like visually, but the Hanukkah Medicine at Midnight for me. People
that would have been my number 2.
People kind of shit on it a little bit, but I will say about Foo Fighters. I mean, they are like the rock band now.
Sure.
Even Dave Grohl said it's like every time there's like an event, they go, "Oh, we need a rock band. We'll put Foo Fighters in there." It's like you do realize there's other rock bands out there besides us, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, the album I did like. Some people got turned off a little bit on it, like the dance kind of. He compared it a lot to David Bowie's Let's Dance.
Yeah.
We wanted to have like a dance kind of record, which. Some of it is, but, he does write some freaking catchy-ass songs, Out of any Foo Fighters
He's got
album,
some talent.
he could write a song or two. Do I think they're a little bit overhyped? Probably. They're not the best thing in the world since sliced bread. But, I do enjoy everything that he puts out.
Not bad for a guy who can't read music.
Yeah, and he actually, funny enough, today they released a cover of Run Run Rudolph. They did, Foo Fighters. It just came out today. So
God damn. I'm gonna have to listen to that now.
Yeah, I did have Medicine at Midnight on there just because I mean Shame I loved.
Shame.
Oh, would you stop? I'm trying to look at my list. There we go. Anyway, so Medicine at Midnight was on there. And we did mention one of my other ones there was the Wolfgang Van Halen Mammoth, that album,
right?
Which you listened to, you were kind of like, it's like we talked about. It's what do we call that? Was it dude rock or I can't remember what it was. It's that modern rock of like, just I-95, special, right? I mean, it's
I think that's how we got into the conversation of yacht rock too.
yeah. Was it? I wanted to call it like fucking
Rock.
dude, bro, rock or something like that. I can't remember now.
Chad Roach.
My favorite one is somebody called. You remember Mumford and Sons?
Yeah.
They called them Sweet Haven Rock
Sweet Haven Rock.
because if they all dressed like they lived in Sweet Haven from that movie Popeye,
Right.
With Rob Williams, they called it Sweet Haven Rock.
God,
I'm like, that's a category. Is there such a thing?
I feel so old.
That was a quick fad too of everybody with banjos. Like I never got it. I mean, they did have some good songs. But I did put Mammoth WVH on there. I mean, Distance was. I saw them open up for Guns N' Roses and the band that he had, and after I left that show, I didn't buy a Guns N' Roses shirt. I bought a Mammoth shirt.
That's right.
Like, he's doing his own thing.
Guns N' Roses is going to be at that big old festival they're talking about.
Yeah, they were great. I mean, for a band that. I held a grudge for a long, long time because I never got to see them, and they canceled my show.
See them either.
And back in their heyday, and I was like, "Fuck that band! I've never seen them live. They go on 2 hours late." They learned their lesson, and Axl was actually very pleasant, which you never would think.
Did he come in the audience and give you a blowy?
I wish,
I'll take a blowy.
He wasn't fat cornrow Axl. He was, on time with Slash and Duff and the rest of the crew.
Well, good for him.
I would have liked to seen an Izzy or maybe a Steven Adler, but you can't win them all.
No.
So but yeah, Mammoth I had on there is my list. So yeah, I mean, is there anything else there on your list?
The only two other things I have, the number 2, I put on there probably because it was just so goddamn fucking catchy, and I found myself listening to it.
Okay.
As like a guilty pleasure was the BTS song Butter.
Oh yeah, we have that on the playlist.
Like butter, like a criminal. No, sorry, I'm not going to embarrass myself too much.
Look,
but.
I'm a sucker for a catchy pop song. I don't give a shit,
Huh. Oh, that's why. I'm like looking at the thing. I'm like, where's the audio? And I realize I have like a different screen. Anyway, it's heavy rotation for me just because it's like one of those like. You're in a grumpy mood, you fucking give yourself a sticker and pop that song on and everything's right with the world.
Yeah, I mean, there's music like that makes you feel good. I dare anybody to put on a Fishbone record and not be happy after that shit. That shit is, you put on a little Truth and Soul, little freaking,
If I would.
yeah. If I were president, Everyday Sunshine, come on, you can't put on Everyday Sunshine to be pissed. They're one of those bands where I put on when I'm in a bad mood. I'm like, I need to fucking, get my shit out.
And that's why, like, before, I think, was it? God damn it. Oh, the Royal Blood one that I mentioned, like, that's on there because to me that's like it's a driving fast song. I'm gonna drive fast.
Yeah.
I'm put this on drive fast. But my last one, I mean, when looking at my year in review on Spotify, I was like, I was saying I wasn't that big of a fan, but then when I come to think of it, I am. Comes as no surprise, Eighth and Walnut.
Yeah,
I bought the
Ninth and Walnut?
No, it's Eighth and Walnut, isn't it?
I don't know.
Am I smoking crack again?
I don't know. You said that last time, and I thought it was Ninth.
Yeah.
But anyway,
God, am I having a brain fart?
That's one of the songs
Descendants.
that's one of the songs on my playlist that It's a Hectic World comes on every fucking playlist I put on.
Yes.
I could be listening to freaking a country record or a country mix and fucking.
I don't know why I keep saying Eighth. But yeah, that's why I put it on there because I was like, well, I know it's a re-recording of old shit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was like, I think I listened to that. I think what got me hooked on it, here's what got me hooked on listening to it over and over again, was they released it, like, we're going to release one song this week.
Yep.
And then we're going to, you buy the album ahead of time, and each, like, week or every couple of days, we're going to release another song. And at the very end, we'll release, like, the last 5 or 6 or however they laid it out. But I just found myself, I'm listening to it over again. And it was like, oh, the whole thing's there? All right, I'm going to listen to it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah. Yeah, it's an album that I enjoy. I mean, I enjoy everything the Descendants do. They're one of my all-time favorite bands. But that album, for some reason, it didn't really capture It grab me. You know what it was? I think I kind of Avengers Endgamed it.
Okay.
It came out and they had the original like Tony and the original people on, like Tony the bass player, the original bass player. They showed his face. It's all these songs and they showed. I was like, are they getting Tony back? Are they?
Oh, I know.
And as much as I love Carl, I mean Carl's phenomenal. We met him at the show.
Yeah.
I thought, oh, they're gonna do a tour with the original like members of like. Well, obviously you can't get that one other guy. The other guy's missing. Keep Stefan in there, but like. But then that sucks because then like you don't want to replace Carl with Tony.
No.
So I kind of hyped it up thinking like, and then they're like, oh, we just re-recorded their parts, and I'm like, all right, I guess that's cool. Like it's new, and it was new, but it wasn't new. Like
I mean,
I've heard some of the songs.
18 songs, and I think the longest song is what 2.5 minutes, not even.
Yeah.
That I mean,
that's what we were talking about before too, where it's. A band like that, obviously, if they put out the music, you're like, oh my God.
I'm gonna get it.
But they're almost getting to that point of being one of those bands where it's like, look, man, you put out Milo Goes to College and you put out I Don't Want to Grow Up and you put out all these albums. It's like, if you stopped, you're good. You have enough of a catalog. I can understand bands.
I'd pay money to go just see you guys do the old songs. You
Yeah.
don't have to do new stuff. But Hypercaf and Spasnate was fucking top notch.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was the last time they took a break for a while, and then they came back. They always did that. It's kind of the same with Everything Sucks. When that album came out, it was like, holy shit, I can't believe I'm getting another Descendants right now. And then they just kind of
And I didn't even like Everything Sucks that much at first.
I mean, there's some classics on it. Obviously Everything Sucks is great, and When I Get Old, and, some of that stuff. I mean, they still put out great music. So they're getting a pass. You're allowed to put out Ninth and Walnut, and you're like, you'll get a pass because it's just kind of like, to me, it felt like filler.
And I'm guessing this is what Carl was talking about because you didn't make it to the show in Connecticut, in New Haven. I think I met up with Shag there.
Yeah, I haven't seen them since we went for that last.
And
tour.
we were out on the sidewalk talking to Carl before the show.
Yeah, he's great.
He was like standing outside the tour bus, like, yeah, let's go and talk to everybody. I was like, all right, cool. Everybody's like, can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? Can I get a picture? And I was like, dude, I just want to talk to you and just, I don't want to waste time like with the picture.
Yeah.
Take every minute to like talk to you and like hear what's going on, hear what the band's got going.
Yeah.
What's it? And he was like so cool. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I totally geeked out when I saw him. Thank God for you because you're always just like, you want a picture with him, don't you? And I'm like, uh-huh. I would never go up to him. But you're like, hey, my friend wants a picture. I'm like, hey, okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah. I like the album that you did all. That was really good. I totally fucking Chris Farley'd it. Like when I went to go see Primus this year.
Right.
My sponsor, my buddy, got us tickets. And as we're driving there, and I had seen Primus back in Sailing the Seas of Cheese, way back then. We're going to the show. They're doing all of A Farewell to the Kings from front to back, a Rush album, right? So, I mean, geek band, fucking heaven. I go in there, and my buddy goes, so what are you gonna ask Les when you get in there? And I was like, wait, what are you talking about? He got us VIP tickets.
Oh, shit.
So we had, early access. We had a meet and greet. We had freaking, they gave us a whole pack of, like, shirts and all kinds of stuff. And I didn't ask him a question. I just kind of stared at him. And it was just like, I was like, you did Sailing the Thieves of Cheese? Was that cool? How is it to play with Stuart Copeland? Everybody else was just asking stupid shit. And I couldn't muster it up, but
no. Well, I could only imagine if you ever got to meet Sandy Miranda, what that would be like.
Yeah, well,
we'd have to scrape you off the floor because you'd be jelly.
Oh yeah. Well, I did meet Sandy Miranda.
Yeah, from Fucked Up.
Yeah, I have a picture with her.
I know. What did you say? I'm just going to stand here. I hope I smell okay.
Yeah, I know. I was like, I don't want to be gross. I drank about 500 Narragansetts at that show.
Oh, shit.
Wow. I was doing the fucking Quint. I was going, I'm like, I don't have to drive. So, yeah, as far as the Ninth and Walnut, hey, man. I'll take any Descendants, whatever it is.
And again, I put that as my number one, probably because A, it's Descendants. B, it's the one thing I was like super fucking looking forward to.
Yeah. And, yeah, that was one that was, there weren't a lot of like looking on my album list. Kings of Leon, which is another band that I love. They have When You See Yourself. They're funny because everybody knows Sex on Fire, and they have such great songs. That kind of southern rock. Like we do a song in the cover band Split Decision. We do Sex on Fire.
Okay.
And I was just like, they're like, oh, can we do it again? I was like, dude, I fucking love Kings of Leon. I'll play anything they want. I was like, well, Lisa's like, did they have other songs? I'm like, yeah, they have like 6 albums.
You goddamn right they do.
They came out with album this, they came out with an album this year, and it's freaking great songs. And I don't know, just something about it. That was the one I made. And I actually, it's funny. I did, and this is so wienery of me.
Oh, you're
I
nerd.
put my own album on here too,
Uh-oh.
Cigarettes and Sorrow, only because it was a freaking difficult album to make.
Oh, yeah.
I did it here. I had just separated from my family. I'm here all by myself. I'm very depressed. It's cold. And what do you do when you're all alone? You just write music.
Masturbate? Oh.
Yeah, well, there's that too. But I listen to it now, and it was one of the best records I made.
Okay.
It's unfortunate that it doesn't like much like this podcast doesn't get a lot of like we're getting over there. But it was one of those records where like I'm super proud of it, and I love the songwriting and the production. Like the I'm getting better at it. And that album and the album before it, Hooper, that I put out the year before, those were, there's some songs like people tell me on that album, if you listen to those tracks and you read those lyrics, which I finally figured out.
How to put the lyrics up?
On the lyrics up on my thing, so I'm going to start doing that. But, I had done for this album, I said, because I didn't know. I was like, is it, people going to like it? It's,
right.
It's, I don't know. So anybody that, and it was really cool because, I did feel very, now time to get sick on a very special holiday
Today
episode.
very special.
Yeah. When I put the album, when I was working on it, I was like, I don't know. Is it going to be, is it decent? I don't know. So I just told everybody, it's like, hey, if you want to hear it, message me. I'll send you a free link to it, and you can listen to it early, and you can comment and critique on it. I had 30 people do it.
Damn.
They just...
I don't
and
even know 30 people.
Some people, gave me really good criticism. Like my boy Pete literally gave me like song by song breakdown. Other people just made comments. Oh, you should lead with this.
It's
or this
complete
is good.
shite.
Yeah, and I was like, be honest with it. I don't want people to, but I was just like, because like I said, we were goofing because I was on my own fucking Wrapped. Those last 2 records I put out, solo records.
The year is me.
Yeah, I'm fucking proud of those, and I hope that people
Good.
listen to them. And there's some songs on there I don't think I could ever play because I can't.
You'd break down.
I can't do it. It's hard.
I get it.
I thought you were hitting something.
No. I was here, ready? You're talking. I was tight in on you.
Oh.
And then, as we're coming out of it, into a goddamn death dedication.
Yeah, so, things are a lot better now, and probably the next record I'll put out is Very Shiny Happy People, and it will be fun.
Shiny happy.
So, yeah, that was pretty much the only, I went through pretty much everything that was on my list.
Yep, me too.
Yeah, so, guys, if you have songs, albums, that we didn't have on our list.
You keep that shit to yourself.
Yeah, and don't say a fucking word. No, but if you do have ideas, say, hey, listen to this. Our boy Daryl, who's always been great with music.
Oh, boy, damn.
Put a bunch of stuff on the playlist. We have our Hey Pal What's New playlist that you can add songs to, or even just comment on below on these
below
on the thingamajigs down there. The comments, leave a comment, say, hey, man, you totally missed this album, and we'll check it out. So, yeah, it wasn't necessarily more of a rank, more of like, here's all the cool stuff we listened to this year that we really dig, which is fine. I'm sure with the other
if nothing
ones,
else, check these things out.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like as Loretta used to do those when I lived with her. on every Friday, we called it the Weekend Review. It was all the leftovers from Monday through Thursday.
Right.
You had it all on Friday. It was the Weekend Review. So that's our Weekend Review. Year in Review,
This
actually.
is your year in review.
And, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me. So, yeah, man.
not invited.
And here's a word of advice for people with music. Yeah, put out some good shit. Do some touring, man. I'm gonna go. We have a lot of shows we got to go.
You know, and like I said, that's the thing that always really, I mean, more bands, I discovered them by going to see them.
Yeah. And
Like
that's
there's a band that probably most people don't know. I'm sure Shelly and Orphan,
yes.
who I saw open up for The Cure.
Mhm.
Oh, wait, you weren't there.
No, I had my
Fuck,
appendix
you were
taken
supposed to
out.
be there.
I was, yeah.
But I love that band, and I would never have seen them if they weren't on tour with The Cure.
Yeah.
Tour with The Cure.
Yeah. I mean, it's the good thing and the bad thing about technology now is that you have access to a million different things, music-wise. The bad side, you have access to a million different things. It's tough to get through. It's tough to get through and find out, like, and that's one of the segments that we do here and we'll be doing for God knows how long we're doing this podcast. But, you know, it's, I totally lost my train of thought.
Thanks, Louie.
You know what I think it was? It was that Gungan.
It was that.
hiding
It was the
behind
edible
me.
I slipped you.
I'm bringing it back. The Gungan is
It
going.
was the fucking Gungan. You're craving Gungan cock.
Misa wants you. Misa want to be behind you.
Misa wants you inside me.
Anyway, I don't want to get started with that. But yeah, kids. Hopefully, tune in next time when we do the same rambling shit for movies and TV. Movies, I think we'll wait till, because like you said, we were waiting for Spider-Man, we're waiting for Matrix. There was another movie that was.
Well, that
coming
was again. Did you see the picture I put up on our Instagram?
yes.
For those of you who haven't, check it out. It's the fucking guy and the girl walking down the street. The guy with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I was like, the guy is me, and the girlfriend he's holding hands with is like Ghostbusters Afterlife, which right now is my favorite movie. But then I'm checking out fucking Spider-Man as she walks by, going, "But Spider-Man's coming next week, so."
I know, and you know what's the sleeper too is that new Matrix. For some,
I just don't have the highest hopes for it.
I'm hoping for it. I'm starting to get like, you know, obviously 2 and 3 were a little, but another podcast that I listen to have been doing the rewatches of them, and so far they've done just the original Matrix and the Animatrix, which I never saw the Animatrix.
I have it.
It's on HBO Max now, all the Matrix
all
movies.
of it
So
is.
I'm almost kind of like, you know, I know. I mean, I pray that
I think I know.
Spider-Man Far From Home is going to be, or
Fart from Home?
No Way Home, or whatever the fuck it's called.
No Way Home.
Zabadaboo is going to be great. But like Matrix, I think might be a sleeper for me. I think I might.
There's
think it
something
might-
else coming to. I can't remember what it is. But
The only thing I don't like about it so far is that Keanu Reeves does not cut his John Wick hair. I'm like, you ain't fooling anybody, dude. Cut the John Wick hair. You
Okay.
know? It's too confusing for me. But anyway, we'll get to that when we do our movie reviews or you know, our favorite movies of the year.
yeah, that
So,
podcast I listened to in the Spider-Man vein, they just did a whole episode on the Sinister Six.
Yeah.
And well, the Sinister Six and the Sinister Seven and the Sinister 12, and like how many just variations of it there have been.
Yeah, a lot of people are doing the rewatches of Spider-Man and Matrix and stuff, which I keep saying, like, I every time one of these movies come out, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna rewatch all this stuff, but I never do.
Yeah, check out that one. It's the Multiverse Fan Cast. I really did appreciate like the deep dive on the Sinister Six and like who it is, why, who's in there, what their purpose, like, and how it kind of like goes about in the comic books, just so you know what to expect, sort of in the movie. But
Yeah, I
and they
love
just
that
did one
stuff.
on greatest superhero team ups.
Oh, okay, yeah,
So-
you got the super fan cat. What is it?
The Multiverse Fan Cast.
Multiverse fan cast. I know my brain is mush right now.
The other podcast those guys have, Cinematic Adventures, I think it's called. They interviewed the guy who did like the 007 encyclopedia of James Bond.
Oh, okay.
So
Hey, but listen, that's for that episode. For now, music. Get on those albums. Subscribe to our podcast. Subscribe to our playlist if you want to hear any of these songs. We're gonna dump a bunch of these on there, and Yeah, man. Grab
Slip
a water
$5
wing
into the
and,
naked cowboy's G-string. Never know how to go out, so I just say something completely retarded. Hey, put my dick in your mouth.
Miss Langford's class. Miss June. We were talking about tapeworms. And
There we go.
talking about tapeworms and what they do. And this girl was
My pet tapeworm had a dog once.
my dog had a tapeworm once. Oh, really? My pet tapeworm had a dog once.
My brother's texting me. He's like, Christmas Eve.
What?
Xmas Eve, our place. Bring your own vegan food.
Oh, it's going to be at Fred's house?
Yeah. We always do it at his house.
Fats Teller?
Fats down. Yeah, it was fucking something
I
else to
think we're
say.
doing it at my sister's this year.
What was I gonna say? Oh, there's my TV and my movies. I gotta piss. I got the piss. My dick hurts.
My penis hurts.
Oh, I gotta go home and fuck my wife.
Are we doing the movie, the TV one?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Get it in the fucking. I'll record it and